I'm so glad it's Friday. Yes, thank God it's Friday. Friday, Friday, Friday. Even though every day is almost like a Friday for me, almost every day. And today started with communion. So grateful for communion. I get to be in the room. I get to receive what the Lord has spoken through others and through the Holy Spirit. And I get to pour out what He has in me that He wants me to share with others. Sometimes I know, but most of the time I don't know what He's going to have me share. So I'm grateful for being led by the Holy Spirit. Now, after that, I prepared, well, actually went into Trucking God's Way for a little bit. They were giving some awesome financial information, different possible potential investments. So that's always good to hear. And then right after that, I went into a Zoom where I was on YouTube on this channel, and I was speaking about my latest book, which I think I showed everybody last time. But yeah, I was speaking about my book, and so I had about an 8-minute talk where Dr. Smiley interviewed, well, he didn't really interview me, he just kind of introduced me and then let me speak. So I talked about my book, how it's broken up into trimesters, and I use it as an analogy of life, business, and ideas that are birthed inside of you. And I talked about how at the beginning stages, it's things are hidden, they're under the surface, you don't really see. And then I talked about the second trimester where things get a little stretchy. And for those of you who have given birth, who have bore a child, know about stretch marks, right? And then the last trimester, I talk about actually giving birth, having the idea, strategy, thing come out of you, whatever was inside of you in forms of a thought or an idea actually becomes real, tangible. And so that was good today. And after that, I came out and checked on my mother, and lo and behold, she had fallen out of the bed and was actually underneath the bed because I looked and I was like, where is she? And I looked down, and I don't know how long she was down there. No one seemed to have heard. I think it was one of those slow control falls. But it took a good part of the morning to get her back up. And then I was exhausted. I had my youngest daughter help me. My husband helped me. It's just so scary when it happens. But she said nothing was hurting her. So got her up, got her in bed, got her cleaned up. Hello, Tree Gaming. And so got her up, and yeah, that was kind of scary. And then I was so tired, I sat in a chair next to her and fell asleep. And when I woke up, she was slipping out of the bed again. I was like, Lord, help me, Jesus. So it was me and Jesus, got her back in the bed. And tonight I ended up having my youngest daughter help me again to just get her position, because what it is she has this sort of air mattress in the bed, and that air mattress is supposed to help alleviate bed sores. If you're familiar with that, people that are they say 70 and older, typically it happens in nursing homes, but if they're in the bed and they're not moving, like they say they're supposed to move every 20 to 30 minutes. So if they're not moving, then their skin starts to break down, and that's where the sores they're called bed sores. She has recovered from most of them. She still has one on her heel and one on her hip on the side, and that one's almost gone. So thank God they're almost gone. Thank God she didn't hit her head or anything. So yeah, so then it's just been a full day. I ended up having a doctor's appointment. I finally got my PCP, my primary care provider appointment, which I have been trying to get for almost 2 years, because we had insurance with with Kaiser, and Kaiser decided 2 years ago that they weren't going to see VA patients anymore. So I had to find another provider. I'm sure I'm not alone in that. So ended up getting another provider, and this provider, she is amazing. She's thorough. She listens, and pretty much everything that I asked for in terms of a referral, she provided. So I am grateful, grateful, grateful for that. And then my plan was to make some juices, but that didn't happen. So that'll have to be tomorrow. And I had actually planned to go to bed early because last night I think I got like maybe 2 hours. But if you add the the hour or two that I took when I was in the chair, exhausted, I think I caught up for it. So let's see, what else can I share with you? Proverbs. Proverbs 30 is about the mysterious sayings of Agar. And I always wondered, okay, mostly Proverbs is about the, the difference between the wicked and the wise. But this one, even though it talks about the sayings of King Agar, it jumps down and it talks about the 6 questions and the 6 things that God hates. And yeah, talks about the things that God hates and talks about 4 mysteries. Now, one of the mysteries I love is the mystery of the ant. I mean, all of them I love, but I love the ant because the ant is forward thinking, a visionary, and actually looks and plans in summer for winter, right? Doesn't wait around till winter comes and starts planning, but actually plans ahead. So that's what I like about the ant. And then in terms of the things that God hates, let me say some of those. Scroll up. Let's see. Let me find it. Just had it. Things that God hates. 4 mysteries. Here it is. They're called 4 intolerable things. There are 4 intolerable events that are simply unbearable to observe. When an unfaithful servant becomes a ruler, when a scoundrel comes into great wealth, when an unfaithful woman marries a good man, and when a mistress replaces a faithful wife. Now, that's being played out in real time in many places around the world. So, those are things that God hates. And I have to agree. I hate them too. I actually hate more things than that. So, God's list is shorter than mine. But yeah. So, I will say goodnight to you and thank you for your like. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your shares and your subscriptions. Your subscriptions are helping me to keep this channel active for those who want to hear about the good news. So, good news and good night. Peace and blessings. Shalom, shalom.